guys, Kyle Mazur here for KMM Photo. Today we're going to talk about the histogram a little bit and hopefully give you an idea of what it is and how you can use it more effectively. So I just pulled up a random image today, one that I took a while back that's got some color in it, and we're going to talk about the histogram. So if you look over here at the top here, this of course is aperture. So what you're looking at right here, this is the histogram, this part right in here. Now, what you need to understand about the histogram is it's a graphical representation of exactly what is in your image. Okay, the way the histogram works is the bottom left corner here are your shadows, and the right side over here are your highlights. Okay, the further to your left you are, the darker it is. The further to the right, the brighter it is. Okay, so you have shadows on the left, highlights on the right. Okay, now in this case, this histogram that I'm looking at right here, this is what's called the luminance histogram. So this is really dark and bright. That's it. If I right click on this, it'll bring me up some options. Maybe. Hang on, it's being grumpy. There we go. If I right click on it, you'll see that I have these different options. I have luminance, I have RGB, and then I can look at my individual channels, my red channel, my green channel, and my blue channel. Something I just noticed today, actually, you'll see that the red channel is always selected regardless of which histogram you're looking at. It's a little glitch in aperture, I guess. But anyway, so this is the luminous one that we're looking at. If I look at the RGB, what it's going to do is it's going to take the red values, the green values, and the blue values and put them all into one histogram. Okay? Now we've talked a little bit about white balance, this is one way to help manage your white balance. The camera itself, if you're set in auto white balance, what it tries to do is it looks for these little peaks and valleys that are here in the red, the green, and the blue channels, and it tries to match them up, which is good in some cases, except when you have a lot of blue in an image or a lot of red or a lot of green. The camera's going to assume that your white balance is just off and not that you're, say, photographing a blue sky. So that's why if you take a picture of a sky with auto white balance, it might come out looking yellow. Looking at this, okay, you'll see that we have these little peaks and valleys. And then over here, you'll see that there's some blue, and there looks like some red over here, and some, I guess maybe even green. It's kind of hard to see. The nice thing about the raw file is by taking my exposure and dragging it backwards, you'll see that that whole histogram starts to shift. Okay, so all of this image that was previously cut off, I have now brought back. Now in the case of this image, I don't like the way it looks dark, which is why the exposure was bumped so much originally. What you also need to understand about the histogram is there's no histogram that is perfect. Every histogram is different because every picture is different. It doesn't matter, you know, that the peak is here and not over here. So don't think that your histogram looks wrong, because there is no right histogram. In general, what you want to see is you want to see the information for the histogram starting right at the corner and not getting chopped off, and ending over here and not getting chopped off. But again, like I said, that's not in every case. In this case, I'm okay with this part chopped off. Okay, and I'm okay with this part chopped off because overall I think the image looks good. The parts that are chopped off here are the black parts of the image, down in here, over in this area of the image. Okay, and even like in, let's see if I can zoom in, like in this part, this black part right in here and right in here. The parts that are cut off are these parts of the image. They're not really vital to what's to the whole overall image. As far as the highlights that are chopped off, they're right here, right in the center here. You'll see that this is really white and there's really no detail. It's just bright, 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 bright white. But I like the way the rest of the image looks, so I'm going to leave it that way. So I hope that helps you a little bit with your histogram. I'll have a little bit more, especially when you're working in camera with the histogram. It's something that I do all the time. I'll take an image and I'll check the histogram, to see how my overall image looks, because I don't always rely on just the screen. The histogram is a much more accurate representation of what my image actually is and what it's composed of. So I hope that helps a little bit. It's probably a little bit confusing at this point, but you'll understand it fully as we go along a little bit further. Kyle for CamMPhoto.com. See you later, guys.